What's up, y'all? Shook here, back with another video on the Holy Paladin, doing some 3v3 with Plum on his Unholy Deathknight and Sorgal on his enhancement Shaman. These matches are from the third week of the War Within Season 1. This is what my gear looked like during the sessions. Getting pretty geared, still have 2-piece. I'm not going to convert any other pieces until we have both charge of the catalyst. We did get our weapons this week from the quest. I didn't have this ring during the queue session, but I made it afterwards, so I do have both rings now, and I went ahead and put a gem in one of them. Here is the build that I'm running. Nothing changed really from the other videos. I have been taking off improved blessing of protection in some of the matches when it's just not needed. Searing Glare didn't see a lot of value in this queue session, but there's just not much better that I can take. That's about all I have to say for the build and my gear. Let's get into the games. So this first game is against a Demon Hunter, Boomin, and a Preservation Evoker. The first match and the third match have pretty crazy endings. I won't spoil them, but they're pretty wild. So right here, I do go ahead and trinket the Root Beam since it is such a long CC. They get the double stun. You can see the Druid, or the Preservation Evoker, going in here for the sleep. I do get slept. Tremor would have been really good because it was a 7-second sleep there, but I guess we either didn't have it or I must have missed that. So right here I am trying to use wings to top Sorgal, pick us back up. I'm going to go over here and Hodge the Preservation Evoker. They're going to stop that Cyclone, and I'm just trying to kind of make sure everybody gets topped. I do have the enchant on, and I wasn't sure whether I liked the mastery enchant or this healing enchant. I did notice it was proccing a decent amount per game to where it was kind of healing off the negative, like the Light of the Martyr buff. You can see they're doing crazy damage back and forth, just kind of swapping. I'm going to use Hand of Sacrifice here. I do get stunned on it, unfortunately, and it is the long stun. He's going to pop Obsidian Scales. I'm going to Hodge him on the Obsidian Scales. I'm going to run over here. I was actually trying to freedom myself, so I predicted that one, but I was just a little bit too slow. Needed to freedom myself there, but I do need to cast Tears Deliverance, so I'm going to run behind the pillar, cast Tears Deliverance. Plum does get cycloned. They're swapping towards to Sorgal, and you can see they want to come CC me now. This is going to be my trinket again, since I was able to sit the Root Beam a second ago. Sorgal is going to pop his wall here, and he does get cloned on it. I get caged, and they clone Sorgal. They're just trying to clone when low so they can swap off. Like whenever Sorgal popped his wall, they want to clone him while he's low, so that way he doesn't get any value out of his shield wall. And then I'm going to pop Barrier of Faith and pump a bunch of healing into Sorgal here. More big heals, and you can see he's getting like a big barrier there. It looks like we are winning heavily on mana. As soon as I get out of this Cyclone, which I go ahead and bubble here, I guess because I was scared that they were just going to chunk Sorgal. Probably not a great bubble, honestly. I probably could have held, but whatever. He does reverse the Hodge onto me, and I do get Root Beam, so here would be a good time to bubble. We do have Lay on Hands available. I'm going to get caged. Sorgal does drop the grounding, and we are able to live until I'm able to Lay on Hands. I'm going to pop Aura Mastery here for the big damage reduction. Sorgal does get the Tremor on that one. The blind I went for was there's too much spread damage going on, so didn't do anything. Trying to pick everybody up. You can see just the massive damage going out. I have the damage meter over here on the left side, and this is this pretty high damage from both teams. I do use our first Blessing of Protection here. Actually that's our second. And I gave Plum the Blessing of Summer, so he's going to be healing us a little bit. We do win on mana at this point, and Sorgal is at like 80%. We have wings coming up in like 53 seconds. He does wall here, so really their next big go, we're going to want to use wings. Plum does the triple blind. I was trying to run in here to get the Hodge, but he actually immuned it, so good heads up play by the Preservation Evoker. He is completely at this point, and they are doing big damage. Here comes the Root Beam. I do trinket it, trying to spam heals on Sorgal. We have 26 seconds left till wings. He's at like 70%. I'm going to go ahead and sack him. I'm popping freedom. And again, we're basically in control at this point. Like, Sorgal is topped, and it looks like they have cooldowns coming up soon. And I'm going to hodge the Preservation Evoker. Looks like Sorgal walked into the damage buff there, so he's taking increased damage. I did pop wings here, and it looks like Sorgal is going to get chunked from pretty much full HP. Like, you saw him just get absolutely destroyed there, along with that 5% buff. But the Preservation Evoker is completely so we might have a chance at still winning. So I'm going to run around the pillar and just try and conserve my mana the best that I can. I do want to cast this Blessing of Winter just to get it on cooldown and get the mana back from it. But honestly, this just felt a little bit chaotic. I'm going to pop a couple more heals onto Plum here. And I just want to make sure that the Preservation Evoker doesn't drink. So right here, he's going to drink. I'm using my horse to go stop him. And I'm going to try and hit him. Looks like Plum stopped him as well. He has AMS back up. He's hitting the dragon now. I'm just trying to kind of play as defensive as possible. I do burn my trinket there since it was a full clone. I was trying to hodge the Demon Hunter. A little too slow. Here comes the big damage onto Plum. We have no Blessing and Protection left. They are just trying to do absolute damage here. It looks like they're swapping to me. I'm going to Divine Protection. Plum is going for the Preservation Evoker, just making sure he doesn't drink. I'm going to blind this guy behind the pillar. I'm going to hodge the Preservation Evoker. We have the Boomin strangulated, and I'm going to try and throw some stuff at him. But unfortunately, it does look like he is going to live for a few more seconds. I'm going to use this Blessing on myself just so I can get increased healing. Here comes the Root Beam. Yep, the Root Beam does come out. Plum has to stop the Preservation Evoker from drinking once again. I'm just trying to keep him topped. He thought I was going to CC him there, or he thought Plum was, and he tried to immune it, which was, I mean, a good play, but Plum was able to blind him afterwards. We almost have our Hodge back up. A couple more Eternal Flames and it will be back up. I'm just trying to freedom Plum, keep him alive. You can see they just chewed through his AMS almost immediately. He's going to Lichborn. I'm actually going to hodge the Boomin here, just because the Preservation Evoker is completely out of mana. We do take down the Boomin. So crazy match. I don't know if this Preservation Evoker is running the Disintegrate spec. I thought every Preservation was, but maybe he's not. Basically where you get mana back when you Disintegrate. Crazy match. And I mean, against a really good team. So that one was pretty wild. This next one is against another good team. It's a Windwalker, Unholy DK, and a Resto Shaman. This comp's just really good. Basically, the DK can grip in, and they can just get spread pressure on everybody. You're going to see me use Divine Protection immediately. The monk's hitting me, and you can see how much damage he's doing even with Divine Protection up. Now they're kind of swapping to Sorgal for a second, and their DK uses IBF, and their monk uses Karma here. You can also see Sorgal pop his wall. I'm going to pop wings to kind of pick everybody up. Now, this is a scenario where I could have used a Blessing of Protection to take off Karma, but I didn't think we had enough pressure there to warrant it. It's just such a big cooldown that we don't want to waste. Monk was trying to stop me from getting the Hodge on the Shaman there. I'm not running Repent in this matchup. So right here, I do go ahead and sack Sorgal because I thought he was going to get the Hex, but we stopped it. So kind of unfortunate. That's not how I want to use sack. I want to make sure it gets some kind of value, especially with it being a longer cooldown. I do get strangulated. I am going to get my Divine Protection off, and they want to hit me again, just doing spread pressure. And right here, I'm going to waddle away, trying to get away from everybody. It looks like Plum is getting some big damage out here. You can see he's doing big damage to everybody with everybody clumped up like this. I'm going to try and top Sorgal. I'm going to use a Blessing Protection now. I do want to try and cast Tears Deliverance, and they are going to stop me immediately. They don't want me casting that, so good heads up play by the DK. It looks like we do get a bunch of pressure on the monk here. He does port away, and it looks like Plum realizes they're going to have to port back, and so he's just kind of doing damage to whatever while the monk's ported. This looks like their go. I am going to Trinket the Strangulate this time, just because we have the Strangulate and the Shaman, and we do take down the monk. So pretty crazy high octane game there. And then this one is against an Affliction Warlock Assassination Rogue. I do get in combat, so he's just going to blind me in the opener instead of sap me. Sorgal is going to lay grounding here. I did get sack off, so they're probably going to bomb. They do bomb the opener, but he has sacrifice and everything, and I'm also taking damage, so I'm not super worried about it. I did divine protection here, so I should be okay. I'm going to pop wings, get everybody topped. And it looks like, unfortunately, we overlap cap with stun there. You can see my the heal from my enchant proccing over and over again. Sometimes it can be really good, especially when, you know, we're all grouped up. I think it's even better if you're running melee wings to have that enchant. You know, the mastery one might just be better for the spec that I'm running, but I don't know, not sure. So right here it looks like we are slightly behind on mana. And we have bubble left, but they're just doing, you know, pretty crazy damage. Like the Affliction Warlock is going back and forth with how much damage he's doing compared to Plum, and you can see the Assassination Rogue. I do Hodge the Priest there. He was coming for the fear, and I'm going to try and blind him off that. Looks like, oh, I do get Holy Lock there, so unfortunate. Really need to make sure that I have enough Holy Power if I'm going to not juke like that. So right here I'm going to bubble, cast Tears Deliverance, and use a Blessing Protection. That's never what we want to happen, but I did get locked, so just kind of unfortunate. I don't want us to die with like cooldowns on the table, so sometimes you have to pop multiple cooldowns to recover, and it's usually not a good sign that you're going to win, but I don't know, just sometimes it happens. Right here I'm trying to pick up Sorgal. He does lock me again. I think I just didn't notice that it was back off cooldown so quickly. So kind of unfortunate. I'm going to cast Divine Toll here. They do want to swap to me since I don't have Bubble, but I don't think they can kill me if I have Divine Protection available, which I had a Bop available as well. It looks like there was a Mark for Death used as well. He got Haunt up on me, so they're really just kind of all in trying to take me down. But we're doing good spread pressure here. They Guardian the Rogue, and I think right here the kill target probably should be the Warlock, but I don't know, it's just kind of hard to say. Sometimes the Warlock's really hard to hit if he's using his gateway properly. I do sack Sorgal. The Priest uses Angel Form. We're kind of dead even on mana. Plum does get the triple blind, and I'm just trying to play like, I don't know, kind of as passive as possible. Do go ahead and Hodge the Rogue there, and I Dispel and run around the corner. I just want to make sure I don't get, like, I know he's not sub, so I'm not as worried about getting sapped, but I just want to make sure I don't get out of combat too long to where I can't recover. Priest is running at me, Plum sees it, and he grips him back. Sorgal is just, again, getting chunked. He does lay grounding here. I'm getting silenced, and I don't really have any cooldowns. I need to cast Tears Deliverance. I'm going to cast it. His wall pretty much did nothing. I'm trying to juke the Warlock. He's just not falling for any jukes, and there's the bomb, and Sorgal is going to go down. Unfortunate. But we have the Priest really low, so I'm trying to hit him, and we do take the Priest down right after Sorgal goes down. So we have the Strangulate, and this one's just, they just don't have anything, so this one's just a free win at the end here. So kind of a crazy one there. This team was pumping out quite a bit of damage, but we ended up somehow pulling the come from behind victory there. So let me know what you guys think about these games. I thought these were pretty fun, crazy, little 2v3s at the end. But yeah, if you are new here, be sure to subscribe, drop a like, helps me out a ton, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.